Hey lovelies! Alright, so tonight we're going to talk about E's Fashion Police. It's back with a brand new host, Kathy Griffin. Of course, we've got the incredible Juliana Rancic and Kelly Osbourne and Brad, I can't pronounce his last name and can't be bothered to. Sorry, that was really bitchy. In all honesty, it sort of seemed like everyone was really nervous tonight. It seemed like, the reality of it is that Joan Rivers' shoes, while a very tiny woman, and I'm sure her actual shoe size was very tiny, had incredibly big shoes to fill when it came to hopping into this chair. The new set, it sort of looks a little too much like the E! News set, just sort of dressed up differently, which kind of sucks. Because, Fashion Police is probably one of my greatest guilty pleasures. I love that show. I love trying to figure out if I can do the best and the worst with these, with the hosts that are on. I love when they have special guests come in. I love it. But yeah, sadly, without Joan Rivers there, it seems that a little bit of the magic is gone. However, don't fret. Remember, this is the brand new season after Joan Rivers has left the building. And the reality of it is that, I'm sure there's a lot of sadness on set. I'm sure there's a lot of, oh, Joan would have said that, or Joan would have done this, and oh my God, I just thought of that, and oh my God, that's such a Joan line. I'm sure there's a lot of that going on right now. So we have to give a show like Fashion Police a little time. It's a little shaky out at the running, but we have to give it a little while for it to sort of pick up its pace. It seemed like everyone was being fairly nice. I wasn't really a big fan of Mr. Brad. We're just going to call him Brad. I know his last name starts with a G, but we're just going to call him Brad, and I'm in no way trying to be disrespectful. He seemed sweet enough, aside from the fact that he was wearing capris. Not a fan. He's kept making comments about like, oh, I would go straight for that. You perpetuate a stereotype by saying stuff like that, like heterosexuality and homosexuality is a choice. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not trying to be judgmental or bitchy, although that kind of comes off as it. When you do stuff like that, when you say, I would go straight for her, you perpetuate a stereotype that leads shows like A&E is brand new, My Husband's Not Gay, to sort of gain more popularity, because then people start to sort of think that being gay is a choice and that you've chosen to be gay as opposed to being straight. Sorry. Some of the people that they picked, I was a little disheartened by. I happen to have loved Selma Hayek's outfit. I think that the dress was beautiful. I do agree that the silver belt was a bit much. I loved the flower in the hair. I think that a woman of her age, if she can get away with wearing a flower in the hair and make it look that pretty, good on ya, honey. Good on ya. Stars like Julianne Moore did not disappoint whatsoever. And I'm so glad that the cast of E's Fashion Police decided that she was a shoo-in, because she looks amazing. I have been a fan of Julianne Moore for so very long. And it's nice to see everyone loving her as opposed to hating on her feet, which usually happens quite often. A couple of things. So they had mentioned that Lana Del Rey looked like Lisa Marie Presley, when in fact she looked a little more like Priscilla Presley. Like, I don't know if I love a big girl, because I'm a big girl myself. So I love girls with curves, because I got curves in all the right places, baby. But, Lana Del Rey, I don't know why, but I always pictured her as a really skinny girl. Which there's nothing wrong with that. She's a big girl. She owns it. She looked very sexy. I mean, I love Adele, so, I feel like I'm just, like, digging the... Let's dig that hole a little deeper. Dig it in. Anyhow, I love me some big girls. But Lana Del Rey, everything was just off. I mean, she looked like she stole that dress from a 1960s drag queen, from Stonewall or something. Like, it was just all kinds of terrible. Claire Danes. What can I say about Claire Danes? Nothing. Moving on. Who looked really great? Who looked really, really, really great? Other than Julianne Moore. Jennifer Lopez. Okay, so Jennifer Lopez won the sort of best dress thing. You know, Jeremy Renner sort of like when he presented with Jennifer Lopez, she said, "I've got the nails," and he sort of said, "Well, you've got the globes too." And the reality of it is that I think everybody on this planet, even blind people, know what Jennifer Lopez's tits look like because they're always out. It's kind of refreshing to see her on American Idol because her tits aren't hanging out all over the place. And I love Jennifer Lopez. I think she's gorgeous. If I look half as good as that, which I won't. I won't even look a quarter as good as that woman when I'm that age. But like, if I could look that good at that age, I would probably flaunt everything I have as well. So whatever. Anyhow, yeah, I think that Fashion Police, without Joan Rivers, is walking a very, very, very tight rope. And I think that the energy of the cast needs to be picked up a little bit. I think that everyone needs to stop sitting there being nervous because everyone looked incredibly nervous tonight for some reason, especially Kathy Griffin. Kathy Griffin, come on. Some of your jokes tonight, I think an 80-year-old Jewish woman could have made those jokes. They were just... Wait, Joan Rivers was an 80-year-old Jewish woman, wasn't she? Well, I think that someone who wasn't Joan Rivers could have made those jokes, and they just weren't good. Your delivery was off, my love, and I'm a huge Kathy Griffin fan. Huge. I love you off, but for some reason you just seemed a little not on the ball. I'm really excited to catch the next couple of shows and see how you pick things up. I see how you make it your own. I'm excited to see you mess around with the set, to see what works best for you folks. Kelly Osbourne, you know, it really sucked because they did a segment showing Julian Rancic's dress, but I didn't get to see the one showing yours, the top and the skirt, which was really beautiful when you were sitting down. But sadly, honey, I couldn't see it. I don't know who it was by or anything like that, which kind of sucks. Kathy Griffin, I mean, you've got to be like the teeniest, tiniest little woman, and it's great because you have the best body, like amazing. When you stood up to do the high fives, yeah, it was quite nice. Also, I want to sort of talk on the Amal thing. She made the gloves herself, yada, yada, yada. For me, having been a crisis support worker, I wonder if she wasn't covering something else up. I know that sounds like such a horrible thing to say, and I don't want to put those things out there. And, but yeah, I mean, why else would you wear gloves with that incredibly beautiful Dior gown? Like, just stunning. Stunning. And Sienna Miller, I'm sorry, folks. You all lost the mark on this because Sienna Miller looked amazing. Amazeballs, in the words of Juliana Rancic. Amazeballs, even though you didn't say it tonight. Tear. Kind of sad about that. But anyway, yeah, I think that we just need to give it a little time, and I think that it'll get back on track. And hopefully it does, because Fashion Police was one of my favorite things ever. I really hope that you bring back the Joan Rangers thing. I think that would be an incredibly beautiful nod to the audience who's been with the show for as long as we have, watching it with Joan Rivers as the host. And I realize that Kathy Griffin taking it on her own doesn't want to do these throwback things, but the reality of it is that by starting the show over and fresh and doing it the way you did, it sort of seems like a slap in the face to the fans that have been watching for as long as they have, like me, because we want a nod to the audience. We don't just want to, it's so sad that Joan isn't here. Joan Rivers wouldn't even want that. We want a nod to the audience like the Joan Rivers thing. We want to see Streetwalker or Celebrity. You know, we want to see those kinds of things, and we hope that you bring it back, and we hope that you do it almost as good as Joan Rivers did herself. Why don't you leave your comments below? Tell me what you thought of the new Fashion Police. As always, I thank you all so very much for taking this journey with me, for sitting through my rants, raves, and everything else in between. I love you all so very much from the bottom of my heart. Don't forget to comment, share, and of course, subscribe. I will catch you all on the flip side, my darlings. Mwah. Bye.